Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward. Hey, we begin tonight with weather. As you take a look outside, you can almost feel it changing. Yesterday, very mild and pleasant. Tomorrow, perhaps not as much. We want to turn our attention straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo for details on what's coming.
First and foremost, get ready. It is going to be a big shift in the weather pattern. As Whitney just mentioned, you can already feel it in the sky. Tomorrow, we have wind advisories and blowing dust advisories already in place for the day. Basically, from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., we are going to see some powerful wind gusts across parts of south central Washington. That includes the Columbia Basin down through a good chunk of Moses Lake. And then just off to the north, including Interstate 90, we do have a blowing dust advisory for visibility down below a mile, even a quarter mile at times. So be ready for it. A big shift in the weather pattern. But let's talk about getting there, because right now it doesn't seem too bad. We've got some hazy cloud cover overhead. We're going to go ahead and call this mostly cloudy, 60 degrees. Do expect to see a little more sunshine later on this evening. I seriously think we will get there, but right now we are hovering pretty close to 60. And it's a pretty cool, pretty close to 60 with some of that cloud cover. We are going to catch a little bit of a break in this before the sun goes down, but don't expect too much. In fact, as we get into tomorrow morning, rain starts bright and early and continues through about 11, then scattered showers in the afternoon. And all of that comes with a whole lot of wind gusts up near 35 to 45 miles per hour. And that even includes us here in Spokane. Coming up, we'll walk you through it in the full forecast.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. One Spokane nonprofit is making a big promise to future high school seniors. The Inovia Foundation announced Launch Northwest. It's a program that would pay for the college tuition of every Inland Northwest student, beginning with the class of 2024. KREM 2's Janelle Finch is joining us now live with more on how local students can receive that college funding. Janelle?
Whitney, Executive Director Ben Small says all students will be eligible for Launch Northwest scholarships. As of right now, the only program requirement is filling out the federal aid FAFSA form. Then Small says Launch Northwest will work to fill in the gaps. Inovia's vision is to provide opportunity for students, prosperity for families, and spur economic growth in the region. Officials believe the best way to achieve that vision is by paying for the college education of students all across the region. Ben Small, outgoing Central Valley School District Superintendent, will serve as the program executive director. He says this program will inspire students to pursue their dreams without barriers.
How much power does that give to families when a family can say, we have the capacity for our child to pursue something beyond high school? As a superintendent of a school district, as somebody who's worked in public education for 32 years, it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful motivator. It changes the conversation at the dinner table to not can we afford it, to what are you going to do?
Small says the program will cover colleges across the U.S. as long as the university agrees to sign documents that verify the student's progress while enrolled. According to Inovia's website, the program will cover 20 eastern Washington and North Idaho counties, a service area of almost 150,000 students. Small says the goal is to be ready to provide funding starting with the class of 2024. Right now, the Spokane County Commissioners and Senator Patty Murray have allocated a combined $7.5 million to the program. The City of Spokane Valley and other businesses, donors, and foundations have also contributed money. Small says Inovia will continue to look for federal and local grants to create an endowed scholarship fund. Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
All right, thank you very much. And Mark Hanrahan is joining us now here for our next story. Today, Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward, as well as City Council member Michael Cathcart, unveiled a new proposal to use the former East Central Library building as a precinct for police and behavioral health services.
Yeah, the idea is to increase the police presence in a part of town that city officials say has seen an increase in crime while providing on-site services for those in mental health crisis. Several community groups say they're on board with the proposal, but others say they've been left out of the process. Mayor Woodward made that announcement this morning at a press conference alongside City Council member Michael Cathcart and Police Chief Craig Meidel. The idea: use the former East Central Library, a 6,000 square foot building, as the new police precinct that would also house on-site mental health services. The building's available after a new library branch was built at Liberty Park. Cathcart says the resources are badly needed in the district to deal with an increase in crime, which he linked to the growing homeless camp off I-90 in Freya.
The time is now to rise to the occasion, as my constituents and neighboring residents are demanding, by investing in and co-locating a fully staffed police precinct and behavioral health provider in this facility. East Central has especially struggled since the camp protest moved into the middle of the neighborhood.
Well, the idea does have support from the MLK Center, the East Central Neighborhood Council, and the East Sprague Business Association, but other stakeholders, including Councilmember Betsy Wilkerson, say the city never included them in the plan. She says she wants police in the neighborhood, but she also wants all the voices to be heard before anything moves forward. So we'll hear from her coming up on KREM 2 News at 5 and 6 o'clock tonight.
All right, thank you very much. Well, certainly it was a busy night for the Spokane City Council last night as they considered a variety of different issues, notably council members approving a zoning ordinance change that would potentially allow a homeless shelter to operate in the industrial zone. It is a major step in opening that shelter on East Trent as proposed by the mayor's office. Members deferred a vote several weeks ago. The ordinance would allow the shelter to be in that heavy industrial zone. In Post Falls, the city council there will discuss 2 annexation and rezoning requests that were presented last April. The Morris annexation is accompanied by a request to rezone with a community commercial services designation. The applicant is Dobler Engineering and wants to annex 12 acres at Prairie Avenue and Highway 41 and incorporate it into their plan for a technical park at that site. In the meantime, the Wellspring annexation request concerns 9 acres at North Greens Ferry Road and West Prairie Avenue. The goal of that request is to zone 3 acres as limited commercial to build a church and a training facility for Wellsprings of Life Christian Fellowship. At today's meeting, the council is allowing public comment. The Moses Lake Police Department announced they have found the body of Yanira Cedillos. We covered this yesterday. She went missing in early March of this year, and police believed Cedillos' ex-boyfriend Juan Gastelum killed her in his own apartment. Cell phone data from the suspect's phone led police to a remote area in Walla Walla County off of Highway 132. The 30-year-old leaves behind 3 young children who are now living with their grandmother.
This is a difficult situation for them. Yes, it's bittersweet where we found Yanira and the family now has her and can lay her to rest the way they choose to do so, but it's still, they've lost a loved one.
Yanira's family says their lives have been just a living nightmare since she disappeared. Yanira's sister shared a statement with KREM 2 saying in part, "Life will never be the same and we don't know how we will move on without her, especially her kids, but they say they find comfort in knowing she is resting and that God will walk them through the painful days ahead." The suspect currently remains in jail in Oregon. He is awaiting extradition back to Washington State. Well, Kootenai County voters have only a few more hours left to get your ballots turned in before the polls close tonight at 8 o'clock. In the meantime, the county elections office has taken several steps to make sure your ballot is secure. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is joining us now live from the Kootenai County elections office to share more on what those steps are. Amanda?
Yeah, hi, Whitney. The clock is ticking. If you still need to cast your vote for the primary election here, as you said, polls close tonight at 8 o'clock. Here at the Kootenai County Elections Office, we've seen a few people trickle in last minute getting their ballots casted here. Now, the clerk of the elections office does want the community to know that his office takes security of your ballot very seriously, and it's done a few things to ensure this. First, each ballot has watermarks and timing marks to ensure the authenticity of your vote. Now, this prevents any duplicated ballots from getting counted. Tonight, after polls close, 3 machines will count all the ballots in Kootenai County, and you can watch staff open, count, and store the ballots on the county's 24/7 live stream. 2 years ago, the elections office installed 3 cameras to make this possible. The link to watch that live stream can be found on the county elections website. And finally, the elections office also locks down the ballot counting room and other rooms that the ballots go into through the counting process to only a few staff members at a time. All this to keep your ballots secure. Now, if you are putting off your vote to the last minute, here's a few things that you need to know. Again, polls close at 8 o'clock. Now, you can register to vote today and cast your vote at your polling place. Just make sure to bring a photo ID and proof of residence. And to find your polling place, you can find that on the Kootenai County Elections website. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much. And as voters prepare to cast those ballots, many want to know exactly what will happen to it after it leaves their hands. And preventing voter fraud is a top priority this year as ballots come in and the count begins. This year, 8 counties in Idaho's 44 will be chosen randomly for an audit just to ensure everything is in line.
It's really important that the voter knows that their vote is important and that it's counted and it's secure.
So if a county is selected for one of those audits, a team consisting of a Secretary of State, election employees, and then Republican and Democratic appointed representatives will all show up to complete the process. The starting point is a hand recount that validates what the machine counted and that it did so accurately. The tricky part is ensuring the audit is done in a timely manner, but still staying accurate. Teams have to make it across the state of Idaho to 8 randomly selected counties just to make sure that they have accurate election results and as people are expecting them. The Clerks Association in charge of the audit says it's something, though, they are ready for. For the 7th time, Gonzaga women's rowing has won the WCC rowing title. Coming up, we're taking a look at what that really means for the next meet. We're back after a quick break.